are really criminals. Like, they do bad things. They do.
God,
Okay.
I knew you couldn't get through that.
And so I think we're, like, giving them the title or that label. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're just clumping them in all with the bad guys.
Well, if the law of just illegally crossing the border is broken, aren't they still criminals? By default. Just by entering the country.
By entering the country, they are criminals.
Yes. But, yeah,
So they
okay.
shouldn't be punished as criminals? Or should they just apply for visas? Because I hear that the visa process isn't any more simple than the
Ugh,
citizenship
I'm going through
process.
it right now. It's a pain in the ass.
See?
They're
Like,
so picky, the damn Italians.
Okay.
anyways, well,
Just so you'll know.
what do you guys think? Do you think there's a problem with the influx of undocumented illegal immigrants?
Well, like I said earlier, I'm questioning why. Like, why are we having to discuss this? What are the effects of this? What's going to happen in the future that we're having to deal with this right now?
Okay.
Or not even just right now, just why are we dealing with it in the past and things like that?
I'm not sure if there is. I just don't.
There has to be.
I don't know. I guess, is there statistics about it? Is there something that's saying that our money is going to them? Is there something in our government that we're contributing that's being taken away because there's too many illegal
That's what people are
I think
saying.
I think the application of rights to American citizens is being taken away. Like, you've got people working and functioning in the society, but the laws of the society aren't applied to them because not only do they not have legitimate credentials for it to be applied to them,
Taxes?
they're not paying taxes. Like, I think it's
That's
just
wrong.
I think it's just weird that they're just coming here working and earning money, and they're not. There's no record of them. Like, they're just anonymous people in society
And that-
functioning along with us.
So
and how do you
with
hold those
them
people
with them
accountable?
coming in illegally, they basically put themselves in a state of non-existence.
Almost. I mean,
Yeah.
basically.
And see, to me, that's why I don't think it should be such a big deal for them just to apply for citizenship, just for that reason, just so they're hardworking, they work, and just have them pay a little
Well,
taxes.
I don't think
And
the problem is
you know-
the application of citizenship. It's just not a lot of people
Straining
are
on
willing to wait that long. A lot of people.
Well, then that just seems like something that needs to be fixed. Like, that might be a flaw in the system. I don't know how you go about fixing how to get paperwork
but I
faster
mean,
or
can you
your
imagine how many
faster.
people actually want to come into the United States and how long that process is for one person? Like, for one person, they try to do it as speedily as they can, but so many people are applying that you can't get every single person in.
Yeah, like
And some people are not going to be patient
I
enough to
know
wait.
there are, it's not in any of their meetings, but there are statistics that our government has to allow in a certain percentage of, like, Asians, a certain percentage of, like, Europeans into our country. And I don't know, like, if that has to do anything with it. Like, they're just there's so many people and they have to, like, pick and choose of who. Or is it first come, first serve? Is that how it is? Like, do you put your name on waiting list? And if you happen to be, we need an Asian, the first Asian on the list comes in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
no,
work with immigration services.
No, I understand what you mean, but I don't know how that process exactly works.
Probably not very fair. But I like the point that Ozzy brought up, is like, why are we actually discussing this? What effects is it going to have on us now? What effects will it have on us in the near future, the long-term future? I just saw a video that my friend posted to his Facebook page, and it was talking about how, I'm pretty sure it was radical members of the Tea Party, went to this Mexican-American's house in Arizona, executed the father, killed the daughter, and while the wife was on phone with 911, they left, came back, and then shot her on the phone.
Oh.
Like, you want to talk about effects that are occurring right now? You've got white supremacy occurring, against American citizens who are of Mexican descent. I think that's a huge issue, and I mean, yeah, we do have issues with the amount of undocumented people and how many people are there. How is this going to affect the democratic process or the Democratic Republic process? But I think what's more important is the lack of humanization for these people, any people.
They feel that because
brown
they are
skin.
not citizens, they don't have the rights that we all have. Like, there's certain rights that even if you are from another country, you still have to keep. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I understand that, but I just think.
Well, they're just being judged based on the color of their skin. Like, oh, you're Mexican, you must be illegal.
you must be, yeah.
So that kind of ties into the whole, Arizona thing. Like, how do y'all feel about them? Like, if you just see someone, you're kind of forced, you have to show them your card, or they...
That
you
kind
always
of
have to
reminds
carry
me
your
of
card on you.
like in Africa where they had the little cards where they tell you what jobs you have to have, and you have to show it to them, and if you're not doing that job, you should,
Well,
which one am I talking? You know talking about, right? During apartheid and like
Yeah.
In South Africa.
yeah, in South Africa.
When I think of it, I think of like what happened at Hotel Rwanda. Like, you know, they went around, found out people's descent, checked out their cards, and if they weren't of the right tribe, like, they were executed.
See, what it reminds me of is the Jews in the Star of David.
Yeah. But so, yeah, but we're not executing them. We're just sitting
But how
back
far
where
do we
they
have to go?
belong.
How far do we?
I
have
don't
to
know.
go?
Like I'm just.
We're not executing them, but what happened with that Mexican-American couple was a modern-day lynching.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
true.
And that's what's happening right now because of the negative light that's shed upon Mexican Americans due to the immigration problem. Not just Mexican Americans,
Yeah,
but
like,
Mexicans
is it
in
just-
general. I think the way
Is
that
it
the
just
government.
seen with the Mexicans though? Like, are we just seeing a major issue with the
In
Mexican
Texas,
Americans?
you probably see more of it because we are along the
Right.
border. But I don't know what you would think of in the north, like
Yeah.
what
Like, do
immigration
they,
Yeah.
issues
do they
you would
have
have
this
in the
issue
north.
with?
It's everywhere. Like Colorado.
But is it one specific, you know?
It's a national thing where people who are brown, Mexican looking in descent, when you see them on a construction job, like it's
So then
typical.
is the issue just with Hispanics, or is it with different immigration, like different
The Asians,
Asians,
Chinatown.
Canadians?
Do you hear about it being an
French?
issue with the French?
I don't.
Do you hear about it being an issue with Canadians?
But then
Not
again,
right
I'm
now,
from Texas,
but do you think?
so
Yeah, like.
all I
Do you
hear is
think
about
it will
Hispanics
become
because
an
I'm
issue?
from Texas.
Do you think people, if something isn't as harsh as, like, isn't being done like as harsh as Arizona, other people will be like, oh, okay, like it's okay to come in. You know, do you think Arizona's just trying to prove a point for anyone else trying to come into our country? Does that make sense?
I don't think they are. I think it's just a
I think they just have irrational fears.
modern day.
Sure.
I think it's modern day discrimination against a party that's not, or against a group of people who's no longer the minority, but a slowly
Actually,
growing majority.
slowly.
Doesn't
Yeah, so
Arizona though? I'm not saying I agree with Mark, but don't they just see it as they're just upholding the law, as you said?
They're not upholding the law.
Let me see if I'm getting this right.
They
You're-
justify their actions by saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but-
Okay.
You're saying that what they're saying is that okay, we're doing this to Mexican, we could do this to you as well. It just seemed like maybe like the Canadians or the
Yeah, I
French
think
or
maybe they're
whoever.
like I don't know if maybe it's just being so harsh that they're trying to prove a point that okay, we're gonna stop it here, just to stop the influx of like other immigrants. Because I mean,
Like,
honestly,
we'll use
if
you as an
nothing was
example.
ever if nothing was ever done, and we just had illegal aliens come into our country from just say Mexico, then people from France or other people could keep coming in. They're like, oh, there's no issue, it's fine.
I don't. You know what? I think it's not such a big issue with other countries because we're not connected to
Connected to
other
them.
countries like that. You know, we're not. It's not so easily done for other countries.
I just think it's modern day discrimination against.
I'm not saying
I,
you're
I know,
wrong.
but I don't think it's a point to like show other people that illegally immigrating is bad. Like,
Well, then
I just-
what would you suggest for solving the issue of illegal immigrants? Is there something else that you would suggest?
I don't have any suggestions for it. I'm just saying that the way that it's currently being handled
not right.
is more prejudicial than anything, and that should be looked at first. Is like how is it being dealt with on a state level and also on a national level.
What is Texas doing? Anyone know?
About what? About immigration. Sorry.
Yeah, about immigration.
About the
The death
topic of
penalty.
the
The
day.
death penalty.
We don't know where that stands. You know,
Yeah, I signed that petition.
but, I know.
I'm
What
sorry.
is Texas doing about immigration?
Whatever articles really say.
No, no.
Can you hand me an article?
Yeah, which one?
I don't know. No, that's good.
Sorry.
That sorry didn't sound very convincing after a wahaha. Okay,
It wasn't sincere. Don't worry about it.
Let's see what I
Yeah, I think so.
See, to me,
okay, so then we're thinking it goes back to the issue of immigration isn't really the issue of immigration, it's the issue of prejudice against a certain group of people.
I think it's another instance of oppression. Like, I mean,
You're right, here we go again.
that's all it is.
Okay, so then do
I
you
mean,
think
yeah, there's an issue with the amount of undocumented people walking around in America right now who don't really have.
do you think
the
there's a
right
greater
to be.
fear because of the little like the drug wars that are going on? Do you think that it's made a bigger deal now?
Yeah, I think that it's completely used as a. I think